So my watch just gave me a notification. It said motion at my front gate. Where's my phone? Let's see what the phone says. Motion detected at your front gate. And look who's coming. So now here comes FedEx up in the driveway. And I knew he was coming a long time ago. Morning. It's kind of a dark, gloomy day, but I need to make this video about security cameras, and this video is going to be different than most videos you are used to seeing when it comes to products. And let me explain. I have been using these cameras for right at 3 years now. I believe I've had 8 or 9 versions, different cameras from the same company. I have bought the majority of these cameras. They did send me one camera, new camera. This is a continuous recording. It records up to 24 hours a day non-stop. It's a little bit different version than the other ones. I'll get right to the point and I'll show you the camera I think you should buy, because the other cameras I think have a couple flaws in them, even though they're good cameras. I'll talk about a trail camera that I used and one of the flaws in it and why I wish they would fix it. I don't know that I can recommend it without them fixing it, to be honest. So I'm going to be real straightforward and honest with this. So here we go. First of all, in the description below, this is not a sponsored video. They don't pay me to do this. Like I said, I have purchased the majority of these cameras myself. And one of the ways I can keep purchasing this stuff and testing it for you guys is I use affiliate links. So in the description below, I will build a page. Go to the link in the description and I will have all the top picks that I have of these cameras. I will also show you, there's a little description and there's a link that shows you my top pick, which I'll show you here in 1 second. So it helps us out if you do use the affiliate links. We appreciate it. It's the only way we can keep buying this stuff and testing it for you. So let me go right to the one that I like. It's at the front of the house. I have one of these at the front of the house. And it's a Wi-Fi version. I have a cellular version that's at my front gate. And I also have one of these that is a cellular version at the beach house, because I also have blink cameras. Now I like my blink cameras, and I did a video where I think I was probably, at one point, I was the #1 user of blink cameras because I had them on 2 houses that we owned, the beach house and our old house. And then I had it at the business, and I also bought a set for my daughter. So I had several systems and up to 9 cameras on each system. But the problem with blink cameras is that blink cameras are basically static cameras. They're stationary, they're static. So let me give you an example. I have blink cameras all around this house. All around this house I have blink cameras. Now the other thing is, blink cameras have to be able to not only connect, it's not necessarily Wi-Fi, but they have to connect to the module. So there's a module that needs to talk to these, so you're limited in range. So I have a module up here, and I can only move these cameras as far as they can talk to that module. So as an example, here's a blink camera. You straighten that up a little bit, and that's pointed at the back of my house, and it's stagnant. Well, if someone walks by here and I get an alert, I pull it up and they're gone. I have no way to look over here to see what's going on. They walk this way, so it's stagnant. And that's one of the great things about these cameras I'm going to show you from Reolink. What the main feature I use is I get an alert, and then I can pull up that camera and I can move it around and look at what's going around. It's close to 360, but I can pull all the way around and look what's going on. I can go up and down, and I can move it with a toggle switch on my phone. The other benefit to these cameras is that they are quote-unquote AI, artificial intelligence. And what that means is that I get an alert on my phone, and I also get an alert on my watch. So I get an alert on my watch that says motion, a vehicle is detected at your front gate, because I named it front gate. I can pull it up on my phone and I can see what that motion was. I can go to a live view. I can save that video. You don't have to pay for any services as far as storage goes, because it's all saved to the SD card. And I think I had 256 gigabytes. I think you can go up to like a 512 gigabyte card, which holds a ton of videos. You can just, if there's something you need to save it to your phone. There's a lot of features I'll be popping in here about because I keep forgetting them. But let me show you this one on the tree up here. By the way, the night vision on these cameras is very good. They have IR, which is sort of that infrared technology. So you pull it up, it's that black and white sort of glow look, but it also has a spotlight. And I really like the spotlight because I think it's important to understand if someone's trying to break into your house or some vandalism or break into your car, it's not just important to record that event, it's important to scare that person away and let them know they're being recorded. And I'll tell you about the alarm and the spotlight. So look up here. I know this looks kind of ragtag, but I have a blink camera here, and then up here I have the AI tracking camera. Now, that has a dual lens feature. It has a regular view, and then it has a zoomed in view. I don't even worry about the zoomed in view, to be honest. I just like the regular view. I wish there was a way to shut it off. I don't think there is. I wish you could just have the one camera, because you can zoom in on the big one. But it does track. So when it sees motion, it's going to come on and it's going to track that motion. I'll show you here in a minute. It tracks the motion as someone walks by, drives by, or an animal comes by. Now you have the option. What do you want alerts from? If you don't want alert from animals, uncheck the animals. If you don't want alert from people, vehicles, whatever. So it's smart enough to detect all that. But this camera, if someone were to walk by here, it would come on. I have it set to where the spotlight comes on. So all of a sudden they walk by, a spotlight comes on them, and then you have the option of also doing a siren. Now you can do the normal siren, which is kind of a bleep, 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 bleep. Or you can record a message and you can say, you are now being recorded. Police have been called. You are now being recorded. Police have been called, or whatever you want to do. So you can actually record an audio message and it'll play it. Is the message loud? It's not loud, but if someone's here, they're going to hear it. They're going to hear a siren go off, and they're going to hear a spotlight. They're going to take off, and that's really what I want. I just don't want to record someone breaking into my truck. I want to scare them off. And if they see a camera spotlight coming on and the siren going off, they're going to get the hell out of there. So prevention, not just recording, but prevention is key to it. I really like those cameras. So that's the track mix. I linked to it down below. This is a cellular version. Now I have a mesh network on my property that extends pretty good. So I was actually able to take the mesh network out of the field, the cellular out of the field, and put a Wi-Fi, but at my gate I have to have the cellular. So they make this in a cellular version. It does not come with a SIM card. So what you do is when you get it, you call T-Mobile or whoever you want. There's several services. I use T-Mobile because it's the best that I've found. And you say, I need a data-only card for a security camera. You cannot use a phone. You cannot use a phone SIM card. So you call them up and say, I have a security camera and I need a data-only card. And I think their plans are like 10 gigabytes or 20 gigabytes. I'll be honest, the smaller plan for like 15 bucks a month for a cellular is probably the best. When you don't have Wi-Fi somewhere, it's amazing. So let's say you have a cabin up in the mountains. You can put that up there. If the Wi-Fi and power go down and your security system goes down, you still have the cellular. That's why at the beach house, I have 7 blink cameras all around the beach house, but I also have a cellular. So in the event the power goes out, there's a good chance my blink cameras will go down, but the cellular will probably still be working. Now this has a solar panel, it's battery operated, and it doesn't take much sunshine because it's not being used that often. I have this on a schedule. So on the schedule, I have this to come on at 8 o'clock at night and it shuts off at like 6 in the morning. So you can do all kinds of scheduling. You can change the sensitivity on it. There's all kinds of stuff. It records the audio. So this is my #1 pick. If you just want to know what's the best security camera I think out there that I've tested for years, and I have multiple versions of it, you either buy that one or you buy the cellular version. That's Wi-Fi and then cellular. And that's it. That's pretty much the #1. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you up to the field and I'm going to show you their new Argus PT Ultra or something like that, which has the ability to record 24 hours a day. And because it does that, it actually can record before the actual motion event occurs. It's not that bad, but it does have a downfall. I'll also show you the other version up in my chicken coops that I use that are not the AI tracking cameras, but they're great because you can pull them up and you can look around, and they're about half the price of these over here. These are really, really hefty cameras, by the way. When you hold them, you'd be like, damn, that thing is solid. So it's a great camera. It's cold out here, so let me run up and I'll show you the cameras. I'll show you that Argus, the PT I have up on a pole, and I'll show you the ones I have in the chicken coops up there. Fortunately for you guys, I am giving one of these as a Christmas present to my daughter. I already gave them a Blink system, but I want them to have this as well on their house. They've got an area way up front that is not covered with their Wi-Fi, so this is one of the cellular versions. So I just went ahead and opened it up, and this is what you get in the box. This thing is a beast. It's heavy, I'm telling you. And the mounting bracket is actually built right into it. You have charging cables, so you can charge it. It has a strap if you want to strap it. I don't strap it, I actually mount it up. But it does come with a strap, like if you wanted to put it onto a pole or something like that. They do make this in a camouflage version if you want. I don't think it's necessary. I like people to see my cameras. I don't want to hide them. I want them to know I have cameras. But I will give you one tip. On the top here, the very top, there is a serial number and there is an IMEI number. Now the IMEI number is the number associated with your cellular. So they're going to ask you maybe for that number, but take a picture of that. Once you take a picture of that, if you have a Gmail account or whatever, email it from your phone to your email address and put on there, save Reolink product numbers or whatever it is. Save that, because otherwise, if you ever need that for anything, you'll have to get up and look at it and take it down. The other thing is if you have that, if you have those numbers, you don't have to go up and actually there's a QR code that you scan right there. And that QR code is how you add it on the Reolink app, which is real simple. But if you're away and something happens to your app or you get something like that, you can actually manually add that back in, which I did not know. Now, I also ordered, again, when you check out, make sure you get a solar panel. Fortunately for me, I could take the instructions and throw the instructions away. This is the solar panel. It comes with it, has a cord, plugs right into here. Again, this is the dual lens version. So you have your dual lens, you have IR, and you have, let me take this out real quick. Okay, so this is the actual camera. This is the one I recommend that people buy. This is my favorite. Again, cellular or Wi-Fi. Numbers on the top, QR code on the top. Take a picture of that QR code because after a couple years, that QR code may wear off. The bracket is actually built in, and this is heavy. I'm telling you, it feels like a beast. This area, pretty sure that this is all metal down here. It has dual lenses, has a spotlight, has infrared. Your speaker is on the back. Your slot for your micro SD card, I think it goes up to 500 gigabytes. 5 gig, 512 or 256, I can't remember. It holds a crap load of videos. The other thing that you need to know is when you first set this up, you will need to take these two screws off on the side. This is a little compartment. There's a spot for your SIM card. There's a power switch in here, and there's also a reset button in case you ever need to reset it for any reason. And then once you turn it on, you close that up. Again, like I have mounted up over here, you want your solar panel facing south, and it doesn't have to be in full sun unless you're recording nonstop all the day. But if you can't, if you have the ability to put the solar panel over this, it helps a little bit, not much. And that's pretty much it. So that's the camera itself right there. I'm telling you, it is badass. There's no other way to say it. Eggs in my sweatshirt pouch. If you're wondering, I'm getting 2 dozen eggs a day from the girls in there. So, okay, so these are my front fields. This road also goes out to the main road. I had one of the tracking cameras up on there, but they wanted to send me this Argus Ultra to test out. The design of that is actually pretty sleek, and it has a real powerful battery inside of it. So, but you can see up there, hopefully, sorry, I'm buttoning up because it's cold. I have the way I have it mounted, which I mount most of them, is I put my solar panel over the camera, provides a little rain shelter. But I made the mistake of not securing the wire, so I got to go back up there and undo that wire and wrap it around the pole or something. Now that camera will track me, and it'll say human detected at your main field, or whatever it is, back field I think I call it. Vehicle, same thing, animal vehicle, you can schedule it, do all the same thing as the other one. Now I will say, this has the ability to record 24 hours a day, but not on a solar panel. It won't do that. You have to, if you have a business and you want a camera that records 24 hours a day constantly, hook it into main power. It's a USB 3. Hook it into a main power source, and it'll keep the battery charged. And when a power outage, that battery is going to last you a good probably 6 to 8 hours, even recording 24 hours. But you can go back, I believe it breaks it into like 5-minute increments, and you can also do a motion alert and look for motion alerts on there. So it's a great camera. Now what's the reason I don't like that? The only reason I don't like that camera is it doesn't have an IR. In other words, it doesn't have the infrared ability. So when it comes on at night, it's going to turn a spotlight on. So if by any chance you want the ability to record without a spotlight and use IR, that one doesn't do it. So that's why, again, I'm back to the first camera I recommended. I think that's the better camera for the majority of people. You can choose spotlight or IR. This camera only has spotlight. It does not have the IR feature. But again, fantastic night recording, color. Let me pull it up. I think I got a clip. I pulled up, and it was actually raining a little bit. I pulled up and I had and went over to that chicken house over there, and it actually looks really good. If you only had one to buy, Doc, what's the one that, after all these years and all these cameras, I would say go with the dual lens track mix. I linked to it down below, and choose either the Wi-Fi version or the cellular. Again, Wi-Fi. There's no charges. It has a SD card inside of it to store the videos. You can download them to your phone. You can choose low version as far as quality goes, or a high version. You can download those videos. When you pull it up live view, if you see something while you're looking live view, you can start the recording and you can record it. There's all kinds of features and available. You can set the monitor point. So on this camera, I can set my monitor point. So let's say I want my monitor point to be right here. I would go over, and there's a function in there, set the monitor point and return to that monitor point after you do all your tracking. So if I want, let's say I want to monitor this field, I can swing the camera over there and set that as the monitor point. And if a deer comes across here, it'll record it, and then it will turn back to that monitor point. Make sense? Scheduling, you have a full range of scheduling. My only beef with Reolink, and I've expressed this to them and to their engineers and their support department, is when you do your scheduling, there isn't a simple way just to say, shut everything off at 6 a.m. and turn everything back on at 8 p.m. You have to go through there, and you have to set about 3 different schedules inside there. It's a little bit of a pain, but I understand why they do it, because you may not want certain things, push notifications, they break it all out in different schedules. Personally, I wish they would have an all-in-one button. Reolink, I hope you're listening. Just like Blink, you have an armed or disarmed, and I wish they would do that. I wish they would do an arm or disarm button. So Reolink, if you're listening, have a simple arm and disarm button. and a schedule that's just on and off. Again, I understand why they break out all these different schedules, and you have to go through and look at all the schedules, whether what is there a schedule for push notifications, for your motion settings, for your camera recordings. There's a bunch of different schedules, but once you get the hang of it, it's not that bad. Again, if I didn't cover anything, and I probably might even pop back in here and explain something too, but again, the winner is, oh, I know what I forgot to cover. So I forgot to cover one thing, and that is the trail camera. I used that trail camera when we first bought this property in the back, and I actually loved it. I got some great video. Now it's cellular based. Same thing, you have to have a chip. The problem with trail cameras is if you start pulling up and looking at a whole bunch of videos, you're going to use up your data. Now, the one flaw in their trail camera system, and why I have a hard time recommending it, is they don't, if you own trail cameras, you'll understand the motion delay or trigger delay. So I have a camera sitting here, and a deer walks by, it's going to take a picture. Well, let's say I have a feeder over here. The deer are going to sit in here and feed for a few minutes. I don't want to keep taking pictures. I want to take a picture and then wait 2 minutes before you take another picture, or wait 3 minutes before you take another picture. And they don't have that function, as far as I know, in their trail camera system. So it just continually records and continually does whatever. It does not have that. It does not have that trigger delay. Every trail camera in the world has a trigger delay on it. Why they don't put one on? Reolink, I hope you're listening. You need to have that trigger delay on there before I can really strongly endorse that camera or use it. It's fantastic to be able to pull it up and do a live view and be able to see what's at your stand before you walk into your stand, or to see it. By the way, if you want a really good, I'll link to this. I've been testing, I have 9 trail cameras on this property. A lot of them are cellular, and the number one pick for this year is the Reveal 3.0 Pro. I'll put a link to that down below. So if you wanted to just have a you can have video on that trail camera, you can have photos on that trail camera. It's cellular, it'll send it to your phone. It's fantastic. The quality is wonderful. It does not send videos to your phone, but it'll send pictures, but you can record videos and save them to the SIM card on the camera. So let's say you have a gate and you want to put up a trail camera, you can put that trail camera up there too. So again, good luck walking onto my property. You can't walk in through the woods because you get caught on a trail camera. You can't come in through any entrances. You get caught on video cameras. So we're pretty much locked down here. So let me finish this video with a little bit of a personal note. I am 62 years old here soon, and I have owned a ton of properties, rural, large acreage properties, houses, beach house, all kinds of stuff. Having a camera and being able to be anywhere in the world and pull up and look at my property is extremely important. Being able to go on a trip with my rest of my family being here, having a camera that I can pull up at any time to make sure nothing bad is happening. It's a wonderful thing. It's a peace of mind to know that as soon as somebody comes on my property, that I know that they're coming on my property. I'll tell you what kind of pisses me off. And what pisses me off is when I go to these Facebook groups, my local Facebook groups or next door, and people are like, oh, someone was knocking on my door at 2 a.m. And I'm like, well, where's the video? You have a $400,000 house or $600,000 or $700,000 house. Maybe you have $1 million beach rental property or something, and you won't spend a couple $100 on a camera. Come on, people. It just doesn't make sense. It's being penny wise and pound foolish. If you want peace of mind, get one of these cameras, stick it on a tree somewhere, watching your property. You can pull it up at any time, get all alerts. You can hear the audio. And you can pull it up anywhere in the world on your phone, and you can see what's going on. It'll record everything that goes on. So I know I'm being a little bit aggressive here, but people have got to learn, especially as we go forward in the times that we're in, you need to have some kind of security video on your property. Anyways, that's my message. I'll talk to you later. Links down below. Doc.